Guys, what's going on? It's Oregon Motorcycle bringing you another awesome episode coming to you straight out of Oregon City. Today, I have my Talaria Sting that is all modded out. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys about all my mods. I'm going to tell you how much they cost, and I'm going to tell you how much extra weight it added and where I think the performance level is at right now. All right, folks, I appreciate all you guys tuning in today and joining me for a little walk around of my Talaria Sting. This is an awesome machine. It's a 2022 model. I purchased this bike from Amped Bikes, and I've recently done some mods here, and I just want to start this video off by giving a special shout out to ebikezilla.com. Without their help and support, I wouldn't have been able to do all these mods on this bike. So yeah, if you guys need any Surron parts or Talaria parts, go check out their website. It's ebikezilla.com. Just some great folks there, and they have very fast shipping too. So yeah, and if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment below. I try to keep like a good community base in my comment section. I try to answer all the comments as best I can and do my best to, you know, make contact with all you guys. I also do community rides here locally in the Portland area. So yeah, if you guys you know, kind of hook up and join the channel, so to speak. So anyways, folks, let's jump into it. I got a long list here, like I said, and some of these mods cost money, some of them don't. So we'll start at the front here, and I think we'll start here with the RST fork. And as you guys know, this RST fork doesn't have the best reputation, so I can't afford new suspension on this bike right now. It's quite expensive, so for the time being, I got to make do with what I have to do. So I did the fork mod, which is putting the 3/4 inch socket up front here. I'm not going to go into detail about that. There's a million videos on YouTube. It did put more preload in it, and it's not as sticky now. And with that mod, I added some fork juice. So the fork juice is kind of like an outside lubricant for the seals and whatnot. I don't know. I can't really say whether or not it's doing anything at this point. I haven't really like put it back to back and done a lot of back-to-back tests, but again, links down in the description. Any of the Amazon products, you guys, there'll be links in the description down below, and you guys could give these products a try for yourself. I think the lube was only like 12 bucks or something, so it doesn't break the bank, and it's designed for forks. So the next thing on the list, you guys, and I'm sure you guys are all noticing it, this is the big bad 21 inch front wheel here. This came from ebikezilla.com out of Canada, and this is a Milk Racing 21 inch front wheel and a GeoMax 53 tire up front, MX 53. So this is a full-on motocross tire, and it's the same size as you'll find on a 125 YZ, like a Yamaha YZ 125. Same with the back tire. We'll get to the back tire soon. But yeah, this dramatically increases the performance of the bike. It gives you more traction up front, gives you a little more stability up front, and there's less resistance rolling over objects because the tire is bigger. The diameter of the tire is bigger. So all around, if you guys are into off-roading, this is definitely a worthwhile mod. Next, we'll look at the front fender. So if you guys know, this RST fork is kind of weird. It has this hoop that comes up in here past the triple tree or triple clamp up here. So you got to kind of get creative. There's kind of like an L bracket here. This is an Amazon fender here, and this is like 30 bucks. If you guys have this bike, I highly recommend buying this fender. It's 30 bucks, it's kind of a no-brainer. And if you guys don't like the quality, you could at least build off of it, and it'll give you an idea of kind of where to go from. Again, you can't go wrong. 30 bucks. This fender. I'm super impressed with it. The next thing we'll look at is my ram mount. Now, the reason I'm including the ram mount here, you guys, because I know, you know, a lot of you guys are YouTubers and you like to film, so I highly recommend the ram mount. As you guys will know, in one of my last videos, this piece of the ram mount broke, which I was kind of surprised actually, and that's because I had like a 10-inch extension on it. I'm not going to run the extension from now on. I'm just going to run it on here, my 360. So I think this is a good upgrade. I had the cheaper one, you guys. Don't waste your money on the cheaper ram mount. It's like half the price. This was $50 for all 3 pieces. The cheap one was like $25 for all 3 pieces, and it broke. But 2 different pieces on it broke. So and I know I broke this one, but I was kind of pushing it hard, and I don't know if you guys look at that video. So anyways, like I said, I'm just going to mount it straight to the ram mount without the extension. You guys can also put your phone on here. You can put a ram mount phone mount, so you guys can have your phone mounted right to the bike. So I just think the ram mount is a great option for any motorcycle or bicycle, really. And like I said, get the real ram mount. Again, links down in the description below. The next modification, you guys, is a free mod. And I removed the brake sensors in here. So there's just some little wires that come out of here. on the brake reservoirs here, and what that does is allow you to still have brake and throttle at the same time. And I know that's kind of weird, but I've talked about this in some of my other videos. It's kind of weird when you're doing wheeling. If you want to wheelie and kind of feather the back brake, it kind of cancels out each other. So it was weird. Like the first time I went to grab some back brake when I was wheeling, it cut the throttle instantly, and it just felt really weird. And I think it adds more maneuverability to the bike, but sacrifices a little bit of safety. But I think the pros outweigh the cons on doing the brake mod. So there's the brake mod. The next thing we'll go into is probably one of my favorite mods, and that'll be my Warp 9 handguards. I absolutely love these handguards. They make the bike look so rough and tough, and they're so clean too. I love the way that they're mounted underneath. They kind of come up underneath the brake lever, and there's nothing going from the outside, you know. So again, just really super impressed. They come with like 3 different color stickers, so you guys can put different stickers on it if you don't like blue. They don't really break the bank that much. But again, this is an awesome product, and you can tell it's well built, and they're really sturdy too for what they are. So, and I've had one spill on them already. They're a little scraped right here, but so far they're holding up, and like I said, they make the bike look really beefy and awesome. Next product is my mirror. This is an Amazon product. I think this mirror was like 30 bucks, and at first I was kind of like, you know, it's not like the best mirror, not compared to like a nice road bike mirror, but it does work, and it is functional, and it gets the job done. I like how you can kind of fold it around easily. It's pretty sturdy. I put it through the trails a couple times and whacked it a couple times. It does work. You can see oncoming traffic or traffic coming up behind you. You can see your buddies behind you riding. And like I said, it's a little small, it's a little vibratey, but it works. So for 30 bucks, the styling and everything, it goes great with the bike. I like it. I think it's awesome. All right, folks. The next one is my GritShift 2-inch riser, and again, I got this from ebikezilla.com. I got the aluminum one and not the black one. I love polished aluminum. Hopefully, like the more upgrades I get, hopefully I can get polished aluminum. I just like the shininess on it. It looks awesome. So this is 2 things. It's function and form here. So what it's doing is it's rising the handlebars just a little bit, and a lot of you guys like that. I know you guys are putting this riser on and taller handlebars. I kind of like the way the handlebars are sitting right now with this. And I kind of like that forwardness a little bit, but a lot of you guys know I came from riding sport bikes, so I'm not really, you know, that position's not foreign to me. So I honestly like the way it's set up right now with this riser and with these handlebars. Is really cool. Maybe in the future I might get some nicer Pro Taper handlebars, some gold ones maybe, or blue ones, gold for my Honda. Yeah, so this is an awesome product. Now, it does add rigidity to the head, because what it does is it bolts directly to the triple clamp here, instead of clamping your neck here. And then you guys know, if you guys have that clamp that comes stock when you fall, or even loading the bike in the back of the car one time, I noticed that the handlebars like skewed from the front wheel because it's just slipping. This is a clamp. This is a direct bolt to the triple clamp, so there's no room for error. You bolt it up, there's no adjusting. It's a solid bolt, so solid bolts up. So again, this is a really good upgrade to have if you guys have a Surron, even Talaria. This fits, I mean this is a great upgrade for your guys' Talaria, and they even make them for the Surron, and I believe it's the same part number. So great upgrade right there. All right, guys, as we move down the bike, one of the things I'll throw out there that I put in is a GPS tracker, and I have full coverage insurance on this. I'm really kind of, you know, concerned with the theft. I want to be covered if the bike was stolen, but I do have a GPS tracker on here. There are about 3 really good hiding locations on this bike. And I know 2 of them for sure you have to wrench on it for about, I don't know, a couple minutes. You know, you have to take it apart in order to get to the tracker. So keep that in mind if you guys are buying these. I highly recommend putting GPS tracker on them, and all that good stuff. The next mod that I've done, and I'm going to do more of, is I've actually shimmed some of the battery, and I've shimmed some of the battery up in the front. This battery does like to rattle around in the frame, and if you guys caught one of my recent shorts, you guys will know that I did bust the battery tray because the battery's just moving around in there too much, shaking around. So I'm going to do some more shimming, and I'll make an upcoming video about where exactly I shimmed the battery at. But this is a mod, you guys, I think is necessary, and should only cost about 10 bucks in foam tape and duct tape and that kind of thing. And I think it will help, and just prolong the life of everything going on in there, because this is an issue in my opinion. So we're going to continue to mod on that, and I'll continue to give you guys more information on battery shimming. All right, kind of moving off to the back here. So I put a new motocross chain on it, so this motocross chain has no O-rings, and it's specifically designed for motocross and dirt applications. And I had to get a bigger chain because I went with a bigger sprocket. We'll get to that in a minute. This chain is a little bit louder and it requires more maintenance. And I would say if you guys are doing like strictly off-road, that this would be a good buy. Again, Amazon links. This was purchased from Amazon. If you guys are just mainly riding street, I would probably stick to the O-ring chain just because it's going to be a little quieter and it'll be less maintenance. The next mod would be my sprocket. I went with a 48 tooth sprocket, and well, for one reason, that was the only one that was available. I got this one from ebikezilla.com too, and it's actually a really good gear ratio for these mods because I can barely feel a difference in the bottom end torque with this. It feels a little more torqueier and a little punchier off the line. I haven't really done any top speed runs yet, but the overall diameter of the rear tire is a little bit larger now, and it's a little bit heavier. So I think going up, just, you know, the stock one's what, 44 something, 42. I think going up just a little bit to 48 and not jumping into that 50 range keeps the bike closer to the stock gear ratio. So which is not that bad in my opinion. So I think this is adequate right now for what I'm running, and I'm going to stick with that for a little bit. And yeah. So the next thing you guys will probably notice is my fender, my rear fender, and I made a rear mud flap, and I made these out of the same material, which is basically like a 10 mil poly laminate. It's a laminate film that you would laminate cards or something with, but this has happened to be black, so you can't see through it. And it's just doubled up, so it's like 20 mil, and it's flimsy, but it's super light and it's super functional. I've been romping on this bike, and its stuff is holding up. So I just cut this out, bolted it to the rear light up here, and then for the back fender here, I just pop riveted it. If you guys do something like this and you're gonna pop rivet it to the plastic, just make sure that you drill your holes barely enough. You got to push that pop rivet in there really hard. If you don't do that, then the pop rivet will pull through the plastic, because I don't think you're really supposed to pop rivet plastic, but it kind of works, and it's holding up, and it's a good mod, very functional. The mud spray on my back is far less with this, and the mud spray on the rear shock is far less with this. So again, these are great mods, something you guys can do yourself. You guys can round up some plastic or something and kind of get creative and do that kind of thing. So let's see, coming up next would be my rear tire, this is a Kenda Trackmaster. And again, you guys, this is the same size tire as you'll find on a YZ 125 dirt bike, front and rear. So I have the same size exact wheels and tires as that you'll find on a YZ 125 dirt bike. And this tire is pretty good. If you're going to run this tire on this bike, you do have to shave it. Now, you can see here where I shaved a little bit of the knobbies here on the side. And my first initial ride, I didn't shave it enough. I came back home and I shaved it a little bit more and made sure the chain was properly tightened. I do kind of want to entertain the idea of maybe dishing the wheel. It's kind of where you offset the rim from the hub, but I don't know if that's the best thing to do on this bike. I think if I can get away with like a 1/4 inch of dishing, it would totally eliminate the chain rub. So just beware, if you guys are going to go with this Trackmaster, this is a 190/19. You will have to shave the right hand side knobbies to clear the chain, so just make sure and be aware of that. All right guys, rounding up the last of the mods is going to be my GritShift Peg Brace here. This is a must-have. If you guys have a Talaria, you guys should get this, because when you guys fall, you guys will fall, you most likely will break a peg mount. My buddy did that right out of the gate. He was trying to wheelie this thing and he ended up looping it, and it sheared the peg mount right off. The peg mounts, in my opinion, are cheap. They're cheap hot metal. They are. That's not my opinion. They are cheap. So somebody needs to come up with some billet aluminum peg mounts for this bike. That would be a great upgrade for this bike. And I actually got the GritShift Peg Brace from GritShift, so you guys can check them out too. They're online, and they gave me this cool keychain. So yeah, but most of my parts, like I said, came from ebikezilla.com, guys. And again, those guys are some great folks to deal with up in Canada. Fast shipping for it being in Canada. So let's see, I ordered all these mods as a package, and then at the same day I ordered my back tire. And my back tire came from California, which is the next state over. And the back tire arrived 2 days after my package from Quebec, Canada did. So go figure. I don't know what their deal is. So they have some really great shipping. Like I said, excellent guys to work with. And I hope to continue my relationship with ebikezilla.com in the future. So there you have it. Oh, okay. So the weight. You guys are curious how much these mods added. Okay, from memory, my original weight of the stock Talaria was 138 point something pounds. And with these mods, it went to 144.2 or something like that. Basically, we just added about 5 pounds. maybe a little bit more, maybe 5.5 pounds, somewhere in that ballpark with this. Now, you got to remember that is mostly unsprung weight, which is the worst kind of weight that you can add to a vehicle, especially if you're going for performance. So you guys keep that in mind. You will notice a little bit, it's gonna be a little more lethargic because you're adding more weight. So you could kind of deter that by adding a larger sprocket in the rear, which is what I did, and I think it really helped. I have more mods in store for this, you guys, that I want to do. And of course, the 72 volt conversion is always on my mind. And I really think that would just totally transform the bike. But number one, it's not available. Number two, it's a lot of money that I don't have. So that's way in the future. But something that I'm thinking of right now that I would love to do would be get a 17-inch wheel setup. So there's no 17-inch rear wheel for this bike yet, but there is. GritShift makes an adapter. So you can buy the Surron wheels and then buy that adapter, and then you could have the rear wheel. So as it stands right now, I have an extra 19-inch front wheel, and I was gonna run a front 10 and a 17 in the rear, maybe, but I'm thinking maybe I could just get the whole 17-inch set. That way I have a setup for commuting, and then I have a setup for dirt when I wanna ride dirt, because I definitely don't wanna commute on these dirt bike tires. So yeah, I wanna do the 17-inch setup. I wanna get some lights for this thing, and I want to upgrade the brake pads. I know you guys told me, some of you guys said to get the Shimano brake pads or whatever. So yeah, Shimano brake pads, 17-inch street wheel setup, and some lights, and it'll be a happy camper. And then maybe in the far future, you know, and suspension, of course, you know, is always in my mind. I've been looking for used Fox 40s on eBay. There's a couple of them right now. They're about $1,000. And again, man, that's just a hard pill to swallow right now at this time. These forks suck, but they work. The bike works, and it's still a blast to ride. You know, in life, anything can be better, right? But you got to take it for what it is. It's not a full-on racing motocross dirt bike. It is, you know, it is what it is. So there you have it, folks. I hope this video informed you guys and kind of maybe steered you in a direction if you guys are thinking about modding out your Talaria. This thing's pretty much fully modded out for the time being, because there's not much more that you can do to these bikes. I mean, there's a couple things here and there that I could do to this, but for the most part, this is kind of modded out here. So like I said, if you guys have any questions or comments, post them down below. Make sure and take a look at all the links down below in the description, so you guys can find these products for yourself and for your own Talaria. So until next time, folks, Oregon Motorcycle.
Goodbye.